And so we've structured the workshop so that students and teachers are investigating biology, and then they're modeling that biology in robots. They have to think about what are the complex decisions that a robot would have to make in order to model the behavior that is taking place in the cells. And so through that, we not only build this understanding of how cool cells are, but we also help students to understand the engineering principles that are a big part now of the next generation science standards.
And I'm really surprised by the variety and ease of access by the workshop. I say that with a really good thing. We get a lot of experimentation with both the biology and the technology. And the technology, I've always seen programming as this really scary, complicated thing, but it's the introduction and the robots and technology we're using is so intuitive, and I feel like I'm learning at a really fast pace, and I appreciate it.
During the workshop, there's really a combination of biology experiments they do, where they're learning about some of these cool properties that cells can have, and also ways in which they can change these properties of the cells. For example, how they can introduce new bits of DNA into bacteria and then acquire new properties and new function.
They keep a really healthy way of having robotics and cellular engineering. They show us how they actually mix together and how this isn't just something we hear about, this is actually something that we could do.
Before the workshop, I never would have thought of cells and robots as having anything in common. But when you look at the programming side of it, there's something within the cell that's telling it what to do. And cells are taking in sensory information, deciding what to do with it, and then responding to it, as all living things do. So it's a way of simplifying it and breaking it down into smaller pieces, kind of one idea at a time, or one sense and one response at a time.
So working with teachers is something different since they're not familiar with the content either. So it's fun to discuss with them on a student level.
Working with these students has really been fun because they all have different areas of expertise, just like the teachers. So we're able to learn from them as well as they work with, learning from us. So
when we work with the teachers and they become excited about this way of teaching, they bring it back to their classrooms. And they may work with 100 students in a school year. So even if it's just little pieces that they're able to integrate in a given year, then more and more students get the opportunity to learn about cells as these really dynamic entities and start to experience this style of learning where you're interweaving the biology and the technology and thinking about how do I model the behaviors of a cell in a non-living thing like a robot.